From a child's perspective, everyone is bigger, the world is scarier, the brain is taking in so much information from an early age, putting it into categories and making associations. But children don't directly interact with money, so parents don't need to worry until much later in their lives, right? At the age of 3, this is when we first start putting together the equation of money and value. I don't have many other memories from that age, but this is where parts of our money story today actually began. If you've ever sat there and thought, why? Why do I feel the need to buy something nice for myself when I've had a tough week? Or why do I shop online just because I'm bored? Or why don't I want to check my bank balance near the end of the month? Or even, why do I hoard cash in my savings account because I feel like investing is too risky? Whatever resonates with you, these are the thoughts that are called money scripts. And today we're going to dive into what they are, how to overcome them, and also to show you that none of us are stupid. It's just our financial trauma dictating our financial decisions. Our early experiences have a profound impact on our beliefs around money. If you grew up poor, money is something that is scary, but not having money is way scarier. The problem is that as you grow older, maybe you do have more money, but you still have that fear, you still have that anxiety, because you can't shake that belief. There'll never be enough money, and will more likely lead to hoarding money instead of overspending. On the other side, people who grew up really affluent and privileged might think that money can solve all their problems, but not build up the mental toughness to withstand things that money sometimes can't solve. And so children are constantly being exposed to the attitudes, the mindsets, the behaviors of their parents and other loved ones around them, and their relationship around money. Today we rely heavily on the banking system. Digital wallets, digital cards that are loaded on our phones to pay for things with. But there was once a time when the banks closed during the Great Depression, and our grandparents or great-grandparents lost everything they had kept in the bank. Most probably reacted logically and kept everything they had in cash under their bed or in a safe for the rest of their lives. Their children then developed anxiety around investing, because if their parents wouldn't even keep their money at the bank, why would they risk their money in something that could go down in value? And so you see, without this context of a significant life event, we as children wouldn't understand the simple distrust or risk-averse nature. As we become professionals or increase our income and we have more money than what we had when we grew up with, we either tend to overcorrect because it was once difficult for our parents to even be able to afford the basic necessities in life. And so even if we have enough money now, we feel like we don't have enough. So we will save excessively, go without certain experiences or purchases because we feel like we're in a state of scarcity. Or we tend to overspend and put ourselves in debt. This is actually also a connection of anxiety to our money. We don't look at our bank accounts, credit card statements, car loans, student loans, because too much anxiety is created. However, without financial literacy, we continue to overspend, completely ignoring our actual financial state. And this could stem from either not being able to afford these things growing up and just wanting to have some nice things now, or being used to getting what we want because our parents always said yes. So how to actually manage this so we don't have to feel like we're behind financially in life? And the first step is to identify and understand what your money scripts are and which ones actually dictate your financial decisions for you. So start with that self-reflection, speak to someone close to you if that helps, and have a look at your relationship with money growing up. And if you've been enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So if you realize that you have financial trauma and fall into one of these categories, then try not to judge yourself for your behavior from it, but instead try to observe and learn how you can have a healthier balance with managing your money, have nice things, maybe even taking care of your family, but all with limits that don't cause you to impulsively overspend or create anxiety that you won't have enough money in the future. Okay, so if the overspending or scarcity mindset just didn't resonate with you, then here are some other financial trauma behaviors that might. If you've ever been in the store and thought, I need this thing, or I didn't realize I needed this, and then immediately purchased it and later kind of regretted it or didn't realize that you needed it right now, this is an overlooked behavior called thoughtless spending, and could have occurred if you didn't have opportunities when you were younger, which now activates anxiety around if you don't buy this now, it will be gone. Hypervigilance is a really common trauma response that comes from growing up being very vigilant that everything can be taken away from you at any given point in time and you have no control over this happening. This could occur from many different situations, such as not knowing if there's going to be food on the table, not knowing if you're going to move to other family member's house, or not knowing when violence is going to break out. And later in life, it is possible that affects your money anxiety and your financial trauma response, as your nervous system is primed to jump at a moment's notice from an event occurring. If you are a child of immigrants who have suffered financial trauma, you'll probably notice that your parents tend to hoard things or buy extra things out of fear of not being able to get these things again, or not having money in the future to be able to afford these things. This hoarding behavior can be adopted by you based off of previously observed financial trauma. Another one is feeling guilty when you buy something or buy too much of something, or either when you don't actually buy something. Or maybe there's a sense of guilt of having financial access to buy things that your parents couldn't afford. And you might have noticed that a lot of these behaviors are rooted in negative thought patterns. A lot of anxiety, a lot of what ifs, a lot of worst case scenarios. And these are called cognitive distortions, which are things that are not true, but are valid and fear-based thoughts. At some point, we are all going to want to elevate ourselves in society. And that's not just social status, but a certain level of financial security that generally correlates to a certain level of happiness. Remember to start challenging negative thoughts about yourself and reframe your internal dialogue. Allow yourself to reflect on your spending habits and start to develop healthy boundaries with your money and also your family. And lastly, if you feel like you need additional help with your finances, then reach out to the correct people who can help you with this. And remember, progress does require practice. So be conscious of your money scripts, which are dictating your financial decisions, and challenge it. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay money minded.